No one ever accused Luanne of being a genius. Let's be honest, oftentimes the jerpster's running, but the wheel ain't spinning.
Luanne, I thought you were smarter than this. I did.
However, there are some interesting areas where she's shown surprising proficiency, and I'm not just talking about the puppets here.
No, actually, punch, kick, squat, rest, 2, 3, all to music and kiss.
Hey folks, welcome to Squirrel Tactics. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out our Patreon and merch store, and yeah, let's just do this thing. So, Luanne and her many talents. Some of them were one-off type deals, like her showing some decent butchering skills as she broke down a side of beef in I Remember Mono.
So here's the plan. When my secret admirer comes to the door, you say hello, offer her a drink, compliment her dress, or leotard.
You are so lucky that somebody loves you, Bobby. Right now, I'd give anything just to have someone say, Happy Valentine's Day, Luanne.
Aw, Luanne, have you heard a word I said?
Pretty handy with a skill saw there, and not afraid to get her hands dirty, or bloody, or whatever. And yes, I know she's wearing gloves, it's a figure of speech. She's also apparently a pretty good catcher, or at least she has hands hard enough to catch the heat that Peggy brings. If nothing else, they're tougher than Enrique's apparently, as we saw in Take Me Out of the Ball Game.
Hank, Luanne has been my catcher for the last 2 seasons. I need her behind the plate. Enrique is a nice man, but he has got a porcelain hand. I'm afraid to throw full speed.
She's also ready to throw down when needed, and she can hit a pretty good spear, not quite like Braun Breaker.
Up eliminated by Breaker, then tossed over a table. I don't know how he's alive today.
His toughness knows no bounds.
But still pretty damn good with a solid liftoff. She's got some strength in them legs.
Don't take your base. No.
Hey, Peggy, watch out!
Seems her only weakness with her hands is apparently her nails, but yeah, that's to be expected.
Lay off the gas, Aunt Peg. If I break another nail, I'll fail my manicure final.
Are you having trouble at the Beauty Academy, Luanne?
No. I'm also failing braid work.
Speaking of having hard hands and a willingness to throw down, let's not forget her foray into pugilism, both authentic and predetermined in Boxing Luanne. She catches the eyes of Buck and his brother Randy while working out in her Taibo class.
What? Hey there, Luanne. Good workout? Yeah, it looked good from here.
If you were looking at me, I'm going to have both of your gym memberships revoked. And I would hate to do that because you both look terrible.
And they set her up to start boxing for them in the back room of Sugarfoot's.
Sugarfoot's barbecue. So sweet, you could eat it with your feet.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, nothing says legitimate boxing quite like fighting in the back of a barbecue joint. She wins her first several fights pretty easily, mostly by bouncing around, and also because the fights were rigged for her to win. This led to her eventually getting it into her head that she could fight a legit female boxer. In this case, Frida Foreman, daughter of boxing great and grill tycoon,
Novelty grill.
George Foreman, and professional boxer in her own right. It should also be noted that Frida did voice herself in the episode. Luanne finds out that all of her fights have been fake. Granted, having her compete in a maid's outfit should have been a pretty big hint there.
Luanne, those fights you had were fixed.
The fighters were fixed? Like my puppy?
But she refuses to bow out and goes through with the fight anyway, ultimately losing to Frida but lasting 3 rounds, which is 3 longer than anyone expected her to last.
Well, what the heck is she doing? We're taking her picture for the calendar this week.
If I could take a punch like that, I might have been able to think of a name besides George for all my sons.
By the way, sad fact, Frida Foreman died by suicide in 2019 at the age of 42. Also, as I was writing this script, news broke of George Foreman's death at the age of 76. So rest in peace to both of them. Now, Luanne isn't exactly the best boxer, but she can sure take a punch. The really sad thing is that when you think about it, of course she could take a punch. She grew up in an abusive household. And we've seen how nonchalant her mother can be when it comes to throwing hands.
We're engaged.
It was supposed to be a surprise!
Ow.
I need a smoke.
So yeah, she probably earned the ability to take a punch in the most heartbreaking way possible. Her childhood may have been where she also learned to be a pretty good wrestler, good enough to help men train Connie at least, much to Bill's delight, in Bobby Slam.
Okay, we try outside the ankle breakdown. Luanne, try to stop me. Connie, you got the full color pen? You take good note this time.
Bill, for crying out loud.
I was listening.
She also uses some of these physical skills during her time in roller derby, which we see in Arlen City Bomber.
After taking on the destroyers, she will catch up on her car payments. And after beating the tar out of those poisonettes, she will make a deposit into an interest-bearing account.
You just want to smash into people, don't you?
She is pretty good at it, though much like her boxing career, the powers that be are more interested in her for her looks than for her athletic prowess.
We won the game! Or match, or whatever it's called.
Knocky, knocky. I hope you're decent. Oh, you are.
Another skill she learned as a child is crisis management, which was on full display in Keeping Up with Our Joneses, when the Hills all became smokers, and Luanne got to deal with their nicotine addiction.
To the Hills and their tobacco-free future.
My God, are you still talking?
Why's my potato got skin on it? I hate skin!
I will not sit here and have my work insulted. What? Do you think the potatoes just fly into the bowl and mash themselves?
I know y'all don't mean none of those harsh words. It's just the nicotine withdrawal.
Why is she still talking?
Yeah, she does use a lot of tactics that are typically reserved for use with pets, but they are rather effective on people. Well, at least they tend to work on Hank.
Oh my God!
Drop it. Drop it.
I wasn't gonna smoke it, I swear.
I know. You did it. Good boy. Here's your treat. Bobby, Aunt Peg, come in here.
Eventually, she is forced to take drastic measures and crates them into a room. My guess is that she either had this done to her to keep her out of her parents' hair, or she did this to them out of safety.
You want the cigarette? You want it so bad? Come and get it. Come on.
Hey, out of there! Hey, what are you doing, Luanne?
Unlock this door right now.
I'm crating y'all in like an unruly dog. I'm sick of dysfunctional families. I came from one, and I'm not going to let it happen to you. Function! Function, damn you!
This actually works, by the way. It is better if you can wedge the coins on the hinge side, but that's not possible here, so she uses pennies to wedge the door in place on the opposite side, which would still work. So yes, you can lock someone in a room using just pennies. Anywho, we see Luanne giving advice in some episodes, like her helping out Connie in And They Call It Bobby Love.
I'm flattered that you asked me to help you with your algebra homework, Connie.
Actually, Luanne, I don't need you to teach me algebra.
Oh, thank God.
Well, as you know, Bobby has a girlfriend.
Bobby has a girlfriend? And I know it?
Yes.
If you and Bobby are meant to be, then it'll happen. I mean, Buckley and I weren't meant to be, and that's why he blew up.
But when it comes to the most underutilized skill she's shown, that would easily be her talents as an auto mechanic. Something she showed off in early seasons, like in Chins of the Father when she identified the problem with Cotton's car just by sound.
I guess I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, no. Just pop the hood. Hank can fix it in a minute.
Don't bother, Uncle Hank. I can't hear the solenoid plunger. You're gonna need a new one.
Thanks a lot, girlie. But the truth is, you're a girl.
She's also the one who ends up fixing the car, though for some reason Hank kind of takes credit for it.
Damn it, I killed a whole day fixing that car.
Yeah, no, Hank didn't fix crap. Hank stood there with the guys talking and checking the fluid levels and locations as Luanne fixed the car.
Well, that's the dangdest thing. I never heard of a solenoid just disappearing before.
I don't know. Sometimes things just disappear for no logical reason. One day my cousin woke up, his kidney was gone. At the same time, 500 miles away, a woman in Phoenix contracted diabetes.
I fixed it, Uncle Hank.
Something I'm surprised that Peggy did not correct Hank on, yet she brought it up to Cotton and Dee Dee when Dee Dee stated otherwise. Though Peggy probably pointed this out because it contradicted Cotton's worldview, even though he still doesn't believe that it's true.
Hank fixed the car!
Actually, Luanne fixed it.
Oh, that's a good one, Hank's wife. A woman fixing a car. That's like a pig trying to read.
There was also that time in Jumping Crack Bass when Hank's truck was almost completely taken apart by the police while looking for possible drugs. Yeah, of course, they didn't find any.
Let's see, the thief was inside your vehicle, so under the law, we had to check for drugs.
He was in my front seat. He didn't hide any drugs in my spark plugs.
Well, we know that now, Mr. Hill.
But rather than Hank putting it back together, it's instead Luanne who does it.
Uncle Hank, I got the 92 Ford truck schematic and I've lined up all the parts. I get stressed out at the beauty school sometimes, with all the combing and politics, and I just do yoga. I could put my feet up behind my head. Want me to show you?
Oh, no! Keep your legs below your waist, for God's sakes.
Yeah, see, Hank was too busy fishing and getting the local wildlife hooked on illicit substances, so Luanne is actually the one who ends up reassembling his truck, including the ordering of parts.
So, Luanne, how's my truck?
Bad news, Uncle Hank. I had to order a new fuel pump. I figured it was urgent, so I asked them to upset.
This, by the way, contradicts Hank's opinion on having someone other than himself work on his car that we see in Chasing Bobby.
Peggy, this truck has been through 4 presidents, 3 Cowboy Super Bowl victories, and 0 mechanics. There she goes. All right, everyone in, quick.
To the flowers of time!
A mechanic literally rebuilt his truck, but he's never had it worked on by a mechanic? Come on now, Hank, we all know that's not true. And more importantly, come on now, writers, we all know that's not true. Fun fact, if Hank had somehow managed to keep that truck into the modern day, even though it's 24 years after this episode came out, it'd still be sitting on 3 Cowboy Super Bowl victories. But for some unknown reason, Luanne's abilities as a mechanic are just dropped and only brought up one more time in the 13th and as of now final season in Serves Me Right for giving General George S. Patton the bathroom key, where we see her trying to work a miracle on Bill's car.
I've identified 2 of your problems, Bill. There's no oil in your oil pan, but lots of it in your windshield washer reservoir.
I don't know if we can save this engine. Our best bet might be to take out the floorboards and make this a Flintstones car.
I'd say you should donate it to charity, but charity people have enough problems.
She's also a pretty good pool cleaner, at least when it becomes her personal project, like we see in Moving On Up.
Hey, Uncle Hank. Guess what? Right this second, the pH balance in this pool is absolutely perfect.
So you found yourself a project. Do you get the same, high I get from lawn care?
I think I do.
Speaking of pools, let's not forget her attempt at leading a pool-based prayer group, which failed for obvious reasons in The Good Buck.
So, that's why it's better to be a little bird sitting in heaven than to be the biggest, toughest grizzly bear in hell. Do you know what I mean?
Yes?
Yay! Fellowship hug!
Woo, amen to that.
And though she's not exactly the best at puppetry, I do have to mention her dealings with the Manger Babies.
No, dear God, no, not
The Manger Babies!
She was good enough at it to keep kids entertained, take away from that what you will, and she even got a direct-to-DVD video, which is more than most of us can say. So yeah, props where props are due.
And that's why yellow was invented, so we'd know when to eat bananas. Eeyah!
What color do you think we should do next? Purple.
Too advanced.
Green.
Brilliant.
It is yet another case of her using her abusive background for the better. In this case, the Manger Babies are like the puppets that were used by social workers to communicate with her as a child.
You're pretty good with those.
I used to play with the puppets all the time with the social worker.
Plus, it led to her short stint as a weather girl in The Trouble with Gribbles.
Ah, damn it. She's wearing blue.
For 2 more days before finally clearing.
It's a good color on her.
Anyways, it's gonna keep raining and hailing and thundering and lightninging for a while. So, hug your babies tight.
And this leaves us with probably her best and best known talent, and that's hairdressing, though maybe not so much the braiding part.
I'm not scared of you. This time, I'm gonna beat you at your own game. Miss Kremser! Someone!
Now, we do know she leaves beauty school in Wings of the Dope.
Hey, you're gonna fail the test.
What?
Yeah, I have a message from Jesus. Something about how you suck at beauty school, except worded nicer. Here. Luanne, you really suck at beauty school. Drop out. Love Jesus. Huh. He underlined really. I guess it wasn't nicer.
So that she can enroll in Heimlich County Community College.
Heimlich County Junior College. Come for a visit. Stay for the beauty school.
So as far as we know, she never actually graduated from beauty school, though we see in My Hair Lady that she decides that college isn't for her and what she really wants to do is style hair.
Wow, you're a really good hairdresser. Thank you. I used to want to be one.
Miss Platter, you in my class to learn history or, do hair?
Hair.
This led to her getting a job cutting hair for hotties.
That's right. The one with the Z.
But after bringing in Bill to help pay chair rent, and the women eventually finding out that Bill's not gay like he had been portraying himself.
Hey, Peggy, let's go invite your hair to that party the rest of you is throwing.
The two of them get kicked out, but she gets on across the street at Jack's, which is good because Jack was on the downslope of his career at that point.
So I think I'll just have the same haircut I've gotten every 2 weeks for the past 20 years.
Is that the Starback or the rookie Starback?
The Stylback.
I can't do that. I don't have a stapler. I mean, the thing you use takes off the hair.
I should also add that we do get to see just how good she is with those barber scissors when it comes to topiary. And yeah, I'm sure getting into Bobby's Ritalin or possibly Adderall certainly helped in Peggy's Turtle song.
Welcome home. I cooked your brunch and I tuned your car and I fixed your mower and I ate the brunch.
Maybe we should read a little more about that medicine, Hank?
Yeah, couldn't hurt.
We know she's still there actively cutting hair and Luanne gets lucky during the 11th season.
I missed my prom because I had to testify against my mama. Everyone got the most romantic night of their life. And all I got was my mama sent to jail.
I think I'll get an updo.
The bailiff that had to wrestle my mama had an updo.
And we see her lose her spot at Jack's in Manger Baby Einstein due to her responsibilities after getting married and having a child.
What's wrong, baby doll?
Jack says he has to give my barber chair to someone else until my schedule normalizes. I worked so hard to be a hairstylist, Lucky. It's who I am.
Maybe it's time to exit the hairstyling industry. They keep restricting what barbers can do. My guy said he can no longer perform dentistry.
And that's the last we see of Luanne cutting hair. So it's kind of surprising how many of the talents that Luanne shows later in life have roots in her abusive upbringing, from fighting to crisis management to puppetry.
Ooh, good evening, mate. May I trouble you for a word?
Oh, Lord. Who is it, Hank? The Manger Babies. I'll get rid of them.
You're communist!
No, I'm not.
Welcome to the party, mate!
Get that penguin back here. I'm not done.
Power to the people, comrade!
Her childhood very much shaped what she did as an adult. Though she's never shown to be that particularly intelligent, many of these skills are definitely the type that should help her in life. She always has hairstyling or being a mechanic to fall back on. Hell, if we're being honest, she seems to have a wider skill set than Lucky does. And I'm sticking to my prediction that she'll add Rancher to her list of skills in the revival after she, Lucky, and Gracie move to Montana to help with the family ranch, which would be used to explain their absences since their voice actors have sadly passed away. Overall, Luanne knows how to do quite a bit. She's a Jill of many trades, if you will. Though thankfully she did leave the cheese making to Cabot, I'm not quite sure how good she'd be at that.
Boy, that cheese.
However, ultimately, to Luanne at least, the most important skill she has is as a mother, seeing as it's the one that brings her the most joy.
You see, gurgle, gurgle. only has 6 tentacles. So, he went on an adventure to find the other 2.
Thanks for watching, folks. We'll see y'all next time.
Murderer!
Assassin of hope!
You were not invited to the baby!
You're both acting like idiots. You shouldn't have stolen Dale's ideas. You shouldn't have taken Luanne's dolls. We shouldn't even be having this memorial service.
You're right.
Put it like that.